Hello everybody, I'm Melissa and welcome back to Book Bar and welcome to my favorite video to make my January, or my monthly stats of faves. This is for the month of January. In the month of January, I read a total of 26 books and I had one DNF, which amounted to a total of 10,055 pages read with an average page length of 387 pages. I had 8 5 stars, 6 4.5 stars, 4 5 stars, no, 5 4 stars, 3 3.5 stars, 3 3 stars, and 1 that I didn't rate. I read 17 books with representation, so whatever that may be. There were Black love, other BIPOC characters, LGBTQ, IA+, disability, mental health, all of those counted. There were 7 author representations, so whether I knew like an openly queer author or a Black, Indigenous, person of color author. So there were 7 of those. I read 6 new releases, 10 2023 releases, 8 releases from 2020 to 2022, and 2 that were released between 2010 and 2019. I also forgot to mention my average star rating was 4.10 stars. I read 5 physical books, 3 ebooks, 17 audiobooks were listened to, and 1 was mixed, so audiobook and ebook. I listened to 9 audio books from my library. I read 2 ebooks that I owned. I read 5 physical books that I owned. I read 1 ARC that was an ebook. And I read 8 audio books that I owned. And I read 1 book on KU, which is really low for me. I also had 17 indie/self-pub books, and 9 were traditionally published. I read 1 ARC. I had 2 rereads. 4 books made me cry, and 11 were new to me authors. 7 contemporary romances, 2 historical romances, 6 fantasy paranormal romances, 1 dark romance, 1 sports romance, which is really low for me, 7 small town romances, 1 mystery non-romance, and 1 non-fiction. And I had 6 favorites this month. 2 are tied for number 1, and so I just went with 5 of the other 5 other ones. So at number 5, we have Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers, or Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. I absolutely adored this. It was adorable. It was fun. It was cute. It was a very lighthearted, fun mystery where Vera owns a tea shop, and one day she goes downstairs to find a man dead in her tea shop, and she ends up meeting these 4 other characters and forming a found family with them, and it was just absolutely adorable. It was so fun. Loved it. 5 stars. Then at number 5, there is Garnet Flats by Devney Perry. This is the 3rd book in the Edens series. I binged this entire series this month. I have a vlog where I read it. This is Foster and Talia, and Foster and Talia dated years ago, and he came home one day and said, "I'm gonna marry your best friend." And so Talia was shocked and brokenhearted, as one would be when their love of their life tells them they're leaving them for their roommate. And yeah, things go from there. Now it's like 7 years later, and he has shown up in her small town wanting her back. So secrets come out, things are revealed, and yeah, it was fantastic. I loved this. I gave it 5 stars, of course. I mean, all these were 5 stars. Then at number 4, I have Through the Glen by Samantha Young. This is the 3rd book in her Highlands series, and this has been my favorite book of the series so far. Possibly even my favorite book of hers that I've read so far. This follows Sarah McCulloch, I think is her last name, and she is a very shy woman who works on Ardnock Estate, and she's a housekeeper there. And if you've read The Adair Family and this series, you've seen her throughout. If not, you don't have to have read it. You learn things about her through, but she's very shy, terribly shy. And one day she goes up to one of the people who works there's room, who lives there part-time. I mean, that's what they all go there to get away. Theo Cavendish, and she tells him that she wants him to help her adapt her book because she is secretly a very popular, famous mystery thriller author, and she wants to make her thing into a TV show, adapt her book into a TV show. And he at first says no, and then he decides, actually, this might be just what I need. So he does decide to go and help her out. And yeah, things go from there. They said that was number 4. That was number 3. Then at number 2, we have Saving 6 by Chloe Walsh. This is the 3rd book in the Boys of Tommen series. The first book of Joey and Aoife's story. And it was absolutely gut-wrenching and beautiful at the same time. Joey, obviously you should read this series in order. So if you read it, you know that Joey has substance abuse problems. But just learning how his mom felt about him is just so heartbreaking. And this book is it's a gut wrench. It is a gut wrench. And on the first day of school, he meets Aoife, and she says, we're going to be together. But then he ends up just working for her dad, and her dad is like, no, you can't date my daughter. And so he is trying to do the right thing and not date his boss's daughter. But of course, things are going to happen. So it was beautiful. I loved it. Fantastic. Then tied for number 1 are books 2 and 6 in the Eden series, Juniper Hill and Sable Peak. I don't know. I think Juniper Hill might be my favorite, might slightly be my favorite, just a little bit more, but they both were fantastic. I loved them both so much. Juniper Hill follows Memphis and Knox, and Memphis shows up in, why can't I think of what the town is called? Quincy. Shows up in Quincy on a terrible day, and after leaving her horrible family and her horrible ex, and she is a single mom, and she ends up living in Knox's apartment above his garage, and her son does not like to sleep. So Knox comes over and helps her out in the middle of the night with the baby, and things just go from there, and it was absolutely beautiful. I loved it so much. Then Sable Peak follows Vera and Mateo. Mateo is the youngest of the Eden family, and Vera, if you read the book series in order, you know what happened to her, what her tragic backstory is. And Mateo ends up being a single father, and she forms a bond with his daughter, and that is just undeniable and adorable. And things go from there. And of course, one thing leads to another. She pines after him for a really long time, which I know a lot of people don't love. I don't mind it. Especially when he clearly fell harder at the end. So, but I loved it. All of it. Both definitely 5 stars. But yeah, those are my January stats and faves. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me a green heart emoji for Juniper Hill, because I'm looking at it right now. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff. It really helps me out. And I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Bye.